Tim McGraw, what's up, brother?
I'm just hanging out, talking to y'all.
Oh, well, I'm glad you are. By the way, Tim, once again, stepping up and hitting another one out the park and making us go, oh, man, and making us look at ourselves.
Yeah, look at our lives and see if we're doing it right, doing it wrong.
Oh, my God.
Why do you do this to us, man?
Why?
I'm doing it for myself.
Do you
I'm trying to learn.
Do you feel like as we all age, that happens, and of course we all get older, but do you feel like things change in the way like songs that you are attracted to, like different than like you were in your 20s and 30s as you get older? And like a song like this, it's get very retrospective.
This is not Down on the Farm. This is much more humble and kind and Live Like You Were Dying.
Yeah.
Standing Room Only, by the way, is the song we're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I in some ways, yes. The older you get and the more life you've lived, songs hit you differently for sure. But I still have the same barometer that I've always had for songs. Just finding great songs that are written well and or trying to write them. However that turns out. Sometimes it turns out, sometimes it doesn't. But when a song like this comes around, it really makes you think, and something that's got this sort of a lyric to it, like Standing Room Only has, and also has a lot of energy behind it as well as a record. Those are rare when you find those kind of songs. Those kind of songs that really have a life affirmation sort of meaning to them, and songs that really have a lot to say, but feel like an up-tempo song in a lot of ways. And those are special. And when you find stuff like that, I can't wait to get in the studio and record it.
I saw it was a video I think you posted. I don't know, maybe TikTok or something. But you're in your old your SUV. You still have that truck?
Oh yeah, for sure. I can't get rid of that.
What is it?
It's got too many memories.
It's an old Escalade. Is it Escalade? Is that what it was?
Yeah, an Escalade. I think it's 17 or 18 years old. I'm not quite sure how old it is, but somewhere around that area.
I love it.
Still, where I love listening to music, listening to my mixes. I know that stereo like the back of my hand. I know how it sounds. I know how everything's supposed to sound in there. So that's sort of my go-to listening.
Isn't that hilarious? Isn't that funny? Like Elvis would do that kind of stuff. He would have it mixed to at the time, a transistor radio was all the rage. And so he would have them mix the song through a transistor radio.
So he could listen to it the way
because he's like, this is the way they're going to hear it. So I want to hear it.
Everybody's going to hear it. And I do that, and then I listen on the little earbuds, too, because most people listen on the earbuds. So it's got to sound good on there as well.
That's smart. Well, here it is. This is it. This is the new one from Tim McGraw, Standing Room Only. As Tim, as our guest, will come back. Here you go. Enjoy this. Tim McGraw and Standing Room Only.
Doing it again.
So good, man. So good.
I'm glad you guys like it. Thank you.
Yeah. So, So I have to say, it seems like every artist that we talk to or comes in or whatever mentions you. And some of them is for music, like, he's a mentor or whatever. But you know what most of it is? You single-handedly, Tim, have gotten Nashville artists into shape.
Everybody says the same thing. Yeah, just trying to keep up with Tim McGraw.
Just trying to keep up with Tim.
I don't know. They'd probably cussing me if they'd been on the road with me.
Yeah, who was it that was with you? Who was that? Do you remember? They're like, yeah, I was on the road with Tim, and he was like, dude, he's like he's not playing around.
They said that you would do a workout before the actual workout, and then you would do a workout after the workout.
So insane.
Well, I got to do something with my day. I can't just sit around and be bored on the bus all day.
Well, you could play golf. There's a lot of things you could do.
I haven't got to golf yet. I'm scared if I start playing golf, I won't quit and I won't do anything else.
All right, Tim McGraw's with us. The new song is called Standing Room Only. We'll come right back more with the one and only Tim McGraw next. Hang on. Tim McGraw joining us, the song that is getting so much attention. That's the new one from him called Standing Room Only. And this is the track that's coming from. When is the album? Do we have a date on when the new album's coming out?
Don't have a date, but it's going to be early fall.
Okay.
We're coming with a new album. We're putting the finishing touches on it now. The hardest part's going to be deciding what songs go on it and what songs get left off. I mean, you go in the studio and record these great songs, and not all of them make it. That's the hardest part when you have to leave stuff on the floor.
Hey, can I just want to shift gears. I got to go 1883 because we haven't talked much since then. Whose idea was it to put Faith in the show? Was it you? Did they go after you first or her first?
Well, what happened was Taylor, I got a call one night from Taylor Sheridan, and I'd never met him before, and he sort of just cold called me. got my number, and he wanted me to come on and do a flashback or do a scene, a story on Yellowstone. And we talked for a little while, and I'd asked him, I'd love to do something on Yellowstone. I just don't want to be, another singing cowboy that gets taken to the train station. So if we come up with a cool role, then I'd be happy to do it. And he called me back about a week later, and he had the idea of doing the flashback of being the original Dutton that founded the ranch. And then he said, "You're going to have a wife in this. Do you think Faith would want to do it?" And I asked Faith, and she said, "Of course, we'll go do it. What do we got to lose? We go spend a couple of weeks in Montana and shoot this couple flashback episodes." And little did we know it was going to lead to a whole series.
Well, I was going to say that Faith. I mean, dude, you're a great actor. We've talked about that before. Faith, I don't know why, but she was the standout. The day the episode where she was riding the horse and she's like showing, "Hey, Mama can do this too." I was like, dude, look at Faith. It's like I don't know. She never got the props that she deserved. And I love the fact that both of you were able to be spotlighted in the show.
It was great. She did a great job. I was impressed by her every single day. And she got so good on that wagon, too, which is not an easy thing to do, to drive those wagons. And she got pretty efficient on that thing.
Do they practice?
And the riding, all of it was great. We had such a great time. I grew up riding, so being on horseback all day was heaven for me.
Do they have like a
cowboy camp?
Like a camp like for people who've never done any of that before?
They did. They had a cowboy camp, a couple of weeks of cowboy camp, where everybody, sort of the cast, got to know each other, and we went through all of our training and on arms training and horseback training, and we roped and drove wagons. We spent 2 weeks of doing that every day, all day long. So everybody got pretty good pretty quickly.
It always tripped me out. Like whenever I'm watching 1883, and then I'll watch Yellowstone. The lady who plays your sister is also the lady who's manipulating Jamie. It's weird.
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
It's the same actress. Yeah.
Oh, she's a time jumper.
That's right. Tim McGraw's our guest. We'll come back and finish up with Mr. Tim McGraw next. Stand by. Tim McGraw is joining us. The new song out called "Standing Room Only." This is the title track from the album that's coming out sometime in the fall. He says, the 17th. Hey, let me ask you. So Morgan released like 36 songs, and we're starting to see more and more artists release differently than it used to be. It used to be like, here's an album with
12 songs and or 3. It's either 12, 3, or 4, and then it's done.
Yeah, we saw that whole like 3. Do you see it changing? Do you put any thought to that at all?
A little bit. I mean, I'm still an album guy. I mean, the more songs, the better, I think. I mean, I think that you get to hear the work in context, when you have a whole album, and you get to listen to a lot of songs, and you can sort of see, where the artist's head was at and what we were thinking when we were making the record and the sounds and everything. And I think it makes more sense to listen to an album after you've heard a single.
I think it would be
just having a single stand on its own.
I think it would be so cool.
I'm old school that way. I like albums.
Well, because I just think about all the songs that you dropped from albums that nobody's ever heard. You could probably just hit stuff and go, old stuff you've never heard, and that's the album. And it would be like 45 songs.
Mm-hmm.
There's a bunch of them out there. I mean, maybe my kids will make some money off of them.
The new one, it's called "Standing Room Only" from Tim McGraw. Look forward to the album coming out later on this year. Tim, always the best. Give our love to Faith, and we'll talk to you soon.
We'll do. Good talking to you.
See you, man.
Take care,
Bye.
man.
Bye.
Wow, we have videos, lots of them, more than just the one you watched. We got more and more and more and more.
Yeah, subscribe, hit the notification bell, or we'll tell your mom.